It's stunning. So there's two parts to this. The first is just the public policy of kind of trying to name and shame, right? What if a mayor put out all the people on food benefits, public housing, SNAP, and said, gosh, these are the people who make me pay high tax rates because there's so many people on the public dole, right? How outrageous is this? People would be horrified, right? So there's a real public policy kind of privacy issues. You don't put your tax returns out. As you said, they didn't just put who, they put their physical addresses. And that goes to the second issue, which we had when Ken Griffin, who is one of the most prominent hedge fund managers in the world, used to live in Chicago, left for Florida because of taxes and crime. He has a residence in New York City, happens to be the most expensive residence bought to date in New York. Mamdani actually did an ad filming in front of it. I, have someone in my life who works in healthcare, right? When the United CEO was shot, it freaked this person out. It freaked their family out. It freaked their kids out. Do I think that there are crazy people who hear about some rich person who has a second home and might not sit outside their house? And look, it's not that they're going to necessarily kill them, although that's a possibility. Throw ink at them, throw a pie at them, woo them, hiss them, harass them. Do I think that's a possibility?
Absolutely.
Absolutely a possibility.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So folks, I mean, this is major news, okay? What he did, his administration published a searchable public database of property owners who could face the city's new pied-à-terre, some tax on, because they have a second home in New York City, and they're going to be taxed, and it's been drawing widespread accusations of doxing. He put these people's address and names out to the public. Okay. I mean, he listed their properties. Okay. And their full names and addresses. The list contained over 960,000 residents and owner entries. Officials had previously estimated only about 30,000 properties would actually face the tax, but he quadrupled it. I mean, it's at almost 100, almost a million. All right. And the city says the role includes, but is not limited to, properties that may be subject to a surcharge. And owners can contest their inclusion if the home is their primary residence. This is major, Shelley. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is cultural Marxism, I guess you want to call it. He's certainly stirring up, literally getting people stirred up in New York for a revolution, taking people's homes, second home, whatever the case may be. This is on purpose. This was not unintentional. There was not a mistake to release that. Again, any state you go to, you can look up property, but typically you don't have all of this data listed, for personal information. But this is on purpose. He's trying to stir up the people to cause a resolution to actually threaten these people, these wealthy people. And if they leave, I hope they do leave New York. I hope they do leave, since New Yorkers seem to be taking this and allowing this, because I don't hear much pushback from New Yorkers. Maybe there's a news block out somewhere that I'm not hearing, but I don't hear many New Yorkers, the regular people of New York. You think that this is going to benefit you? You think Mamdani is doing this for the people? Well, guess what? When those wealthy people leave, the top tier, whatever it may be, who's going to be the next wealthy? You middle class people. Your houses and your land and properties are going to be the ones that he's going to come and tax and dox and scare so that they can get money from you. That's why I hope people do leave New York City. I hope they do, and leave it. It'll become a shit hole, like President says, some third world countries, and then maybe, just maybe, after that, it will be cleaned up by the people who really take a liking and a care for New York City. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to suggest, but he's doing this on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, Nicole, even people who had publicly supported him were on this list. We're talking about Cynthia Nixon. She's the actress from Sex and the City. Anna Wintour, the editor of Vogue magazine. I mean, the list goes on. These are his supporters. supporters he doxed.
Yeah.
Okay, you know,
Mhm.
this makes me kind of, I don't know.
Don't cry.
Hey. Oh Lord, it's over with. Why you gonna cry now?
I really don't. That's what they get, but this is not right. It really isn't. Nicole, what are your thoughts?
Listen, you know, Mamdani's a lot of things, and effective is not one of them. But this is what he's doing. I'm sure his supporters, Cynthia Nixon, Anna Wintour, and all of that very elite fashion set, were given the heads up that they were going to be included on the list. However, what he wants is the money to move back to New York, not to have a second home, but as he said, your primary residence. Now, why would he want the very wealthy set to move back to the city permanently? Taxes, because his plan is to tax the rich. So if he can't get the rich to come back, what's he going to do? He's going to take over their property, and the middle class are now going to have to foot the bill for all the thrills of the quote unquote lower classes. So this is not him saying, you know, we're going to dox you, we're going to, you know, shame you because you have a second home. No. What he's saying is your second home needs to be your primary residence. Your house in Florida, your house in Los Angeles, that needs to be your secondary residence.
Oh.
We need your tax money. We need your tax base, because when his tax base picked up and moved somewhere else, they didn't sell their New York properties. They just said, oh, that'll just be our second home. And it, you know, if taxes go up a couple percentage points, we're not going to cry about it. What he's saying is, no, ma'am, we want that money. And we're going to tax you like we mean it, because how dare you be rich? How dare you, when there are people who are out here being poor? How dare you work hard and achieve? How dare you? What are you thinking, you little rebel? You know damn well you're supposed to be poor and waiting online for your potato just like everybody else. How dare you? Well, the rich people said, I don't have to stay here for this. We'll move somewhere else. Let's pick it up and go somewhere beautiful. We'll keep the home. We'll visit New York when Fashion Week. You know, everybody will come in for Fashion Week. Well, Mamdani says that's not enough, because I'm not getting enough tax money on just the ownership of your home. This needs to be your primary residence so I can tax every dime that you make. This is what he's doing. He's pushing those screws in to get them, whether it's by hook or crook, shame or named, makes him no difference. He doesn't care if he doxes these people. He doesn't care if there are protesters out in front of his house. And I would venture a guess that maybe one of his so-called, leaders in his administration may organize, or a couple or two, protests out in front of these very wealthy people's homes. You know, because taxing the rich is what's important to them. They don't understand that rich people can sell their houses and leave. Permanent.
I hope they do.
And then what? Then the middle class, like Shelley said, becomes the new rich. And it's no longer if you have $10 million. Now it becomes if you have $1 million. In New York, if you own a home, you're close to being a millionaire just on that little piece of property that you have. He's coming for you next.
Yeah, he's coming for us all. Because, folks, these people, now he can't run for president because he wasn't born here. But his goons, his other DSA goons can. And this is, folks, do not sit in your beautiful homes in Florida and Texas and Oklahoma and wherever, thinking this is not thinking this is not going to touch you. They are coming, and it's happening fast. All right. Absolutely. And he's been defending the release. He has defended the release as required public inspection of assessment data under state law, and a transparency tool, he's calling it, so owners can check their status and file for exemption. He is just beginning, folks, and we are sounding the alarm. We have been for the last couple of years about this Marxist communist movement in the country. It is no longer on the fringe. It's coming to your front door.
Yep. Absolutely. It's been elected, and let me tell you, I cannot say enough. I told you so. I told you so.
Elections have consequences.
Absolutely. Major consequences. When now people are saying that he didn't actually win the election, because people who are saying, oh, I never voted for him, but my ballot mysteriously went to his column. You know, again, we have got to get the way that America votes fixed.
Yeah.
The Save America Act does a lot to right that ship. You know, Senator Thune, I don't want to say how disappointed I am
Oh
that
yeah.
he can't manage this. I don't have the words to say how heartbroken I am that he can't seemingly, you know, whip enough votes to get this thing done. It is just heartbreaking to see that what America across the board, not just conservatives, but Americans across the board are demanding of our legislators, they are so unwilling to do, unwilling to stand up, unwilling to stand on what's right. And, you know, they're figuring, listen, I'm an incumbent. I'm not up for re-election this cycle. It doesn't really matter. Americans have a short memory. Can I tell you, elephants never forget.
What's up, everybody? This is Poppin' Politics. Get your merch. Are you a Poppin' Politics fan? Are you unapologetically American? Or not black, not white American? We got it all for you right here. Get your merch.
Get the classic shirt. Classic. Goes with everything, comes in a variety of colors. Smart, edgy, conservative, like us, like you. This is a great way to support the channel. Click the merch button.
There is no shame in being an American. Get your shirt today and be unapologetic about it. Get your shirt, wear it, and be a proud American.
You can get it all in t-shirts and hoodies. You can get it in stickers, on bags. You can get it all on our website, metroconservativemedia.com, or our YouTube page, Pop and Politics, and tag over to store. You can get your merch and show you're proud to be an American and support Pop and Politics.